You're on.
I promised these folks I would do this.
You're
segment,
on.
so
Do
I
this
have
segment
to.
so we can walk out on you.
At Bold Fresh, I had the pleasure of meeting two very nice people from New Jersey. A lovely young couple named Bernie and Joan.
Bernie and Joan,
who now called the upstate of South Carolina their home. They were very gracious to the assembled Colbert Radio delegation and even tossed out a beach ball for us, and I was thoroughly impressed by them since they made it a point to say that they were not right-wingers and appeared to at least associate some negative stigma with the term. They were just freedom-loving. I have no problem with that. I've been called a lot worse.
God, look at the time!
After all, I am married. So when I asked them what brought them down to lowly South Carolina from the Garden State, they were quick to point out, first of all, the weather. They also called out a couple of other things, and I would like to use them as jumping off points for my political monologue tonight. A major problem with New Jersey is corruption. New Jersey is as corrupt, if not more corrupt, than any other state in the union. And they said if you want anything done in Jersey, you show up with a pocket full of cash, and you'll get it done. They've watched their state grow from a leading chemical manufacturer and basically a great source of farmland. And they called it the Garden State for a reason a long time ago, and now they're saying that it's because of corruption, in as much as anything else, it has completely gone to pot. And it's not any one side of the aisle. It's just everybody up there is corrupt.
Percy ain't lying. So, this is exactly why they left.
So it's basically
I'm
clowns.
from Jersey. You from Jersey?
Clowns to the left to be jokers to the right. So I blame, that there's no political message there. Corruption is corruption. Use your vote to expose it and get the people who are the most corrupt out of there. Because sometimes you don't get corruption out. You just deal with the least amount of it that's available.
Has anybody seen Jersey Shore?
Yes.
Oh, love it.
I've never watched Jersey Shore. Never.
All right, now. Snooki. The chick who got punched in the face.
Ho.
That's why we love her, though, because she's honest about it. She's very upfront about being a complete hoe. She's like, I'm a hoe. And you're like, well, we knew. So their next point was...
This passes for television?
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Percy.
Well, this passes for politics. I mean, shit. This next step...
Shit in politics, you're being redundant.
Right, but I repeat myself. John Edwards, shit in politics. I said it 3
John
times.
Edwards is a turd Sunday.
Guns.
In a punch bowl.
Guns was a big thing for them. New Jersey has some very strict laws about gun ownerships, and they are now actually gun owners for the first time. And one of the largest buying sprees for guns was in Connecticut, which is notoriously one of the most liberal states in the Union. They asked if I thought D.C. saw that and was afraid of more Americans owning guns, and I said, hell no. They're not afraid because they are shamelessly optimistic about their own agenda. In simple, easily sold logic, more guns equal more danger, which is not necessarily true, but guns are potentially lethal. But so is sex, and you don't need a license for that. You can make another human life and get paid for it without anybody's permission, but buy a gun and you're inherently violent. Yeah, oh yeah.
It takes a while.
There are certain people who need a license to reproduce.
They're that good at it?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're too good at it.
They're too proficient, we'll say that.
Did you know, I guess you can buy a gun in New Jersey right now, what you just said, but you know what you cannot do in New Jersey still right now?
Fist pump?
No.
No, you can do that.
You can't pump your own gas in New Jersey.
That's true. There's a service union up there that prevents. There's a law that says you can't pump your own gas. They're all full service.
Bernie and Joan are listening.
I know, but you guys are interrupting.
I know.
Bernie said he would. I'll tell you when I need to get just my own little segment. So it's
that's going to happen.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Bernie said he would be standing in the way if South Carolina or Jersey or anybody tried to get the property that he worked for. And it's not exactly a large piece of land. He owns a modest piece of property. But we were talking about development of a highway running directly over his house. And the government basically said, if we want to do this, we're going to take it.
Well, they can do that, eminent domain.
What Bernie said was, you want to take my property, you're going to pry it from my cold, dead fingers. Now, I guess
I like
that's,
Bernie.
I guess that's a little, and by the way, you'd have to pry the rifle out of his cold, dead fingers, and that was what he implied as well. But I kind of understand his point. Think about what we work for in this country and think about how much it gets taxed, right? Let's say you want to buy something that you intend to pass on to your children. Income tax has already been paid on the money you used to buy it. Sales tax was paid on the purchase. Property tax can be paid to own it. And capital gains tax can be paid to cash in on it, or estate tax to pass it on. Directly or indirectly, a family heirloom can be taxed 4 times in a single generation without even insurance or any other costs. All he wants is his own stuff. And I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. And I don't see why everybody has to dip their damn hands in Bernie's little itty-bitty pie.
The
So-
power to tax is the power to destroy.
That's absolutely right. So this is where I would like just a few minutes of
Anybody want to dip
All right,
their hand in my
like-
pocket and pet
Keep your
shit?
monkey to yourself. Personally, I promise we'll behave. Go.
Okay. This takes me to my most important final point, sovereignty. We all remember that we're a sovereign nation with the right to self-govern, and we celebrate that every 4 years with presidential elections and peaceful transition of power. It was so important to us that we fought and died for it, not just once, but several times, including fighting ourselves. We kind of know that we are sovereign states, we kind of assume that, conglomerated into a federal relationship, but most importantly, among all of these, we are free men. Bernie is the king of his own land. That's the genius and glory of America. Titles that once only belonged to nobles are now the domain of every man in the country. You are your own king. Are we at 10?
No,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make 10 show up on the thing.
Okay.
10th Amendment.
Okay. Yes.
State
state
rights.
sovereignty. But okay. But more importantly, there's individual sovereignty. That's real liberty. It's why I choose to oppose any measure that grants the federal government more power. Healthcare, gun control, nationalization of various industries. All of these things are shifting the balance of power and responsibility off of the individual and toward a centralized system, and I don't believe in that. A lot of people like to say follow the money. Don't follow the money. Follow the influence. These politicians can make plenty of money anywhere. They can go off and be lobbyists and make millions of dollars. And if they get thrown out of office after 2 years as a congressman, they get a pension for life, along with health care. They're not going to hurt for money. What they love is the influence. They love the power. It may take more of your time, but it is your responsibility, regardless of how you swing in the political arena, to realize what somebody is going after when they establish these programs. I understand you want to take care of little babies and have health care for everybody who's poor and make sure that everybody gets a free crack at the pursuit of happiness. But you have to consider what you're letting the government start when you let them get that far into your life. John Adams once said, "Be not intimidated, nor suffer yourselves to be wheedled out of your liberties by any pretense of politeness, delicacy, or decency. These, as they are often used, are but 3 different names for hypocrisy, chicanery, and cowardice. And the jaws of power are always open to devour, and her arm is always stretched out, if possible, to destroy the freedom of thinking, speaking, and writing." So remember, you are your own king. That's what makes us different from the rest of the world. We don't inherit our power, we inherit the ability to determine our own destiny. It's not self-governance, it's self-determination. That's the genius of this country, and if you let it slip away, you're going to have to explain to your children why you once had the greatest gift given to any free man in history, and you squandered it because you were asleep at the wheel. This is Percy Hugo, voice of the cutting edge, and we'll be back next week, ColbertRadio.com live.
That was not bad. That was well said.
Spoken. Well spoken.
So in essence, the two political wings of two political thoughts of the United States, the difference is one group is Lockean, the other group is Hobbesian.
Sure. You want to say that?